Hi guys, welcome. Welcome to Prep Week. Again, my name is Amy Bellinger and I am going to be your certified Faster Way to Fat Loss coach. I'm here to help guide and educate you through this process and transform your life through the faster way. So I'm thrilled to have you here and I cannot wait to work with you through these next 6 weeks and watch you transform your life. So if you are able to, after you watch this video, please comment, let me know where you're coming in from. As you can tell, we have people from all over joining us, and that's what I love about this is that we're bringing people together through this amazing community. So this week is prep week, like I said. Take a deep breath. Don't get overwhelmed. Relax. We're simply learning the strategies that makes the faster way highly effective. Through the next few weeks, I'll teach you the strategies and give you an opportunity to implement and put the pieces together so you can burn fat effectively, increase your energy, gain strength and confidence. And again, I'll be with you every single step of the way. So each week during our trainings, I will have a list of priorities to go over and strategies we'll be focusing on. And then you'll have the opportunity to, in the comments, ask me questions, and I'll be able to get back and respond to you. So anyway, definitely ask questions, whether it's from these trainings or any of the posts that I do on a daily basis. And I will always want to give you feedback and answer your questions. So before we dive into intermittent fasting and whole food nutrition, I want to mention a few things. Familiarize yourself with the app. Watch my tutorial. I already did a post on that. Complete the new client assessment form if you have not done that already. Take photos. You don't have to share this with anybody else. You can send them to me, keep them for yourself, because this is a way you can really are going to be able to see your progress. Because remember, we're putting that scale away for the next 6 weeks. We are not getting on it. We are going to, you weighed yourself when you started, and you're not going to weigh yourself again until the end of the 6 weeks. Please ask any questions you have right here in the comments below or on our group page. Use this group to ask questions, post macros, encourage and support each other. Check in for the daily posts and announcements. Check out the Faster Way to Fat Loss guide. And so anyway, yeah, this is just going to be an amazing resource for you. So for this week, your main priorities for prep week are the following. There are several elements of the faster way that makes it highly effective. This week, we're simply going to focus on intermittent fasting and whole food nutrition. We're going to learn the basics of intermittent fasting and transition to whole food nutrition. We'll be working to eliminate processed foods from your diet. We'll also get acquainted with the MyFitnessPal. Well, you could use MyFitnessPal, or what I would recommend is to use the Faster Way app to practice logging your food. Intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting can sound a little bit scary and it might be intimidating for some of you. Trust me, I was totally freaked out by the thought of it. You're not alone. It can be a scary new strategy to implement, but I promise you, you will get the hang of it and you will absolutely love it, and you'll love the way that you feel. Intermittent fasting is not a diet. It's simply an eating schedule. It's beneficial for your body to be at digestive rest for a longer period of time versus always being in a fed state. So when we implement this strategy, you have a longer fasted period and a shorter feeding window. So here's an example. If you eat dinner at 7 p.m., after dinner starts, the clock on your fasting window, you go to sleep. In the morning, instead of immediately breaking your fast or having breakfast, you'll simply continue the fasting period. Drinking tons of water, electrolyte water is especially helpful, black coffee, herbal teas, and then around 11 or 12, you'll break your fast. Intermittent fasting is so much easier than it sounds, and you'll end up loving it. And keep this in mind too. Maybe your schedule allows for you to break your fast at 10 a.m. instead of 11 or 12. That's totally fine. We want this to work for you and what works best for your schedule. Some of the benefits of intermittent fasting include increased energy, mental clarity, reduced cravings, better sleep, improved digestion. While you're at digestive rest, your body will have longer to heal, therefore boosting your immune system. You'll become leaner and accelerate fat loss. The most common form of intermittent fasting and the form we encourage is the 16-8 protocol. You'll eat your meals in an 8-hour feeding window and spend 16 hours in a fasted window. We're going to aim to fast for 16 hours a day unless you have been instructed by me to do otherwise, which would be following either a 14-10 or a 12-12. Most people decide to skip breakfast and eat their first meal around 12, consuming all their foods before 8 p.m. before closing their window. Adapt schedules as you need to. For example, it could be 11 to 7, it could be 12 to 8, 1 to 9, 6 to, or 10 to 6, especially those of you who work night shifts or 12-hour shifts, 12-hour shifts. Start slow with fasting and ease into it. Simply increase your fasting window by 30 minutes to an hour each day. So for example, if your fasting window is 12-12 and then you get to a 14-10 and then do a 16-8, you can do it gradually, again, based on my recommendations for you. So during your fasting window, we encourage you to limit total calories consumed during that window to 50 total and consume little to no fiber. You can have a splash of creamer, just keep it under 50 calories. Unsweetened iced tea or herbal teas and bone broth are fine. Common complaints in the first week is that people feel lightheaded, weakness, fatigue, headache. Not a glucose issue, electrolyte issue, need sodium, potassium, magnesium. Electrolyte water will help reduce these symptoms. And there are most likely detox systems. This is your symptoms. This is your body's way of detoxing from the processed foods, dairy, gluten that you have been eating. We're transitioning our body from being a sugar burner to now becoming a fat burner. This is a huge benefit of intermittent fasting. Instead of burning off glycogen, you will now be able to burn fat for fuel. Who doesn't want that, right? Many of you are coming to the Faster Way after years of eating 6 mini meals a day. You've been told by the wellness fitness industry that you should do this to rev up your metabolism. However, this is simply no evidence or research to this to prove or support this concept. In fact, we're able to optimize and maximize your metabolism and accelerate fat loss with the strategy of intermittent fasting. Glucose and glycogen is the preferred energy source of the body. It takes roughly 12 hours to fully digest your meal and burn through those glycogen stores. When you're eating 6 small meals a day, you never completely burn through those glycogen stores and are not allowing your body to dip into the fat stores. Also, when in the fed state, anytime your body is digesting food, your body's storage and building hormone insulin is high and prevents you from using body fat to make energy. In the fasted state, 8 to 12 hours after your body finishes digesting, insulin is low and you're better able to use body fat to make energy. Once your body has burned through the glycogen, you then start to tap into your fat stores. So the magic happens in the last few hours after you've completely digested your last meal, and this is how you're going to become professional fat burners. So in addition to intermittent fasting, this week you're also going to focus on whole food nutrition. The easiest way to put it is if it has a mother or comes from the ground, it is fair game. Whole foods have few ingredients. They're easily pronounced. They have not been modified and are not processed. They have no added sugars or chemicals. They are simply whole. Whole foods generally have more micronutrients than processed foods, and these micronutrients include vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and other bioactive compounds that are good for our bodies. You could eat all the processed food and still hit your macro goal, which we'll be discussing in another week, but it won't be nearly as healthy as a whole food diet because you'd be missing out on essential micronutrients. I want you to focus on consuming vegetables and fruit, lean protein, and complex carbs. Complex carbs include potatoes, rice, beans, starchy vegetables, quinoa, gluten-free oats, and fruit. Shop the outside aisles of the grocery store, read labels, and the first 3 ingredients make up the majority of the food item. Avoid sugar and inflammatory oils. If you follow along with the meal plan, you'll be eating whole foods. Use that as a guide and allow it to take the stress off of planning and figuring out what to eat. I'll give you tons of suggestions as we go along as well. So anyway, my number 1 tip for you when it comes to whole food nutrition is to keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Another goal we have is to avoid processed foods and other inflammatory foods like gluten and dairy that are producing inflammation in our bodies and may cause bloating. Many of you, through the next several days, will start experiencing the benefits of this immediately and will notice that you're feeling lighter, you're feeling less bloated, your skin is clearing up, less aches and pains, you're not having the digestive issues we were having before. Especially if you've been used to eating a lot of processed foods prior to starting this program. We encourage this mainly because of the way gluten and dairy products are genetically modified in our modern society. Gluten-free. Many of us cannot properly processed gluten. Even if you don't show symptoms or don't recognize the symptoms, gluten slowly damages the cells of our intestinal lining, and we can create leaky gut and inflammation. It impacts a weight loss. And to just briefly touch on gluten-free products, just because it says gluten-free does not mean it's healthy. I think that is something that it can be so misleading. There's so much marketing out there, and we think if we see something that says gluten-free, then that's healthy, and that's not really the case. It is still, those gluten-free products are still highly processed. Gluten is the binding agent that holds food together. So they have to replace it with something else that will also act as a binding agent, which is usually sugar. So read the labels, use these products in moderation if you absolutely have to. Dairy-free. Most common food allergies in children are dairy. About 70% of the population cannot digest dairy because the production of lactose, the enzyme that digests dairy, begins to plummet around age 2. Dairy can be highly inflammatory and hinder weight loss. Alternatives are feta and goat cheese. This does not mean that you can never eat cheese for the rest of your life. I simply want you to try to eliminate it for the next 6 weeks so that you can determine if these foods do have a negative impact on you. You can slowly reintroduce these things back into your diet if you wish, one at a time to see how your body reacts. So I'm going to briefly touch on alcohol because I know this is a burning question. Do your best to limit it throughout the week. Here's why. The body prioritizes alcohol metabolism over any other metabolism happening at the time in our bodies. It takes 10 hours to process alcohol in a standard drink. After consuming alcohol, fat metabolism is paused. There's no nutrients, it's empty calories. So treat yourself to this on Saturdays. With that being said, I want you to make this lifestyle work for you, but definitely try to limit it. So tomorrow we are going to be talking about macros. Make sure that you fill out your form, and we'll be diving into that later. So we are also going to pair our food log with effective workouts even through prep week. I will provide you with full workouts to go along with. We have a gym version of the workouts as well as low impact, so you can also access them from the app. Again, if you need to make modifications, that's absolutely not a problem. They have those for you in the workouts, so it's easy to access. These workouts are great. You're going to enjoy them. There is a strategy behind them, and I can promise you that you will be in and out of the gym within 30 minutes or your basement or wherever it is that you're working out. You do not have to suffer in the gym for hours every day in order to see results. Through the Faster Way, you've been taught through the Faster Way, you've been taught that in order to lose weight, you have to eat less and exercise more, and that's not how it is. Calories in versus calories out formula. This is not the answer. Many of you have been under eating and over exercising, which is causing suboptimal thyroid function, adrenal fatigue, or your bodies are hanging on to fat to store fat. And that's the exact opposite of what we're hoping for. Through the Faster Way, we will implement strategic food log with effective workouts that will allow us to effectively burn fat and maximize or optimize our metabolism. Exercise modifications, do what you can. Don't worry if there's something that you can't do. If you need to make something low impact, please feel free to go ahead and do that. And if you have specific questions about modifications or anything like that, feel free to go ahead and email me. One very important note as you go through this program is that we focus on progress, not perfection. I want you to remember that. This is the Faster Way motto, and it will ensure your success long-term. According to tons of research, the number one indicator for success when it comes to weight loss or wellness goals is mindset. I want you to hear your daily victories. We'll celebrate and non-scale victories, stay positive, and trust the process. I want to encourage you to stay off the scale and instead focus on your daily wins and non-scale victories, which can include improved quality of sleep, longer duration of sleep, digestion, energy, strength, stamina, endurance, power, mental clarity, focus, alertness, getting all your workouts in, committing to whole food nutrition most days of the week, drinking at least half your body weight in water. Those are the things that we want you to be focusing on, because remember, that scale, it's gone. We've put it away. So a few last notes. I would love for you to share something new that you learned today in this post, and tag somebody else in the group, and let's hear them respond too, because again, we're here to cheer one another on. Most importantly, I want to hear from you on a consistent basis. Every single day as you go through the program, I want you to post pictures of your breakfast meal. I also want to hear how you're feeling each and every day. Tell me how you're doing with the workouts. I want to hear from you on a consistent basis so that I can adequately support you. I am highly motivated to empower you to be successful through the Faster Way. And so keep in touch, when you have questions, again, please let me know. Feel free to email me or comment here in the group. Engage with the group, tag somebody else in the group, comment on their post. Let's make this an active community where we're supporting and encouraging one another. And the more active the group is, the more active you are in the group, the more successful you're going to be, and the more successful everybody else in the group is going to be. So again, I'm so excited to get started with you. I'm thrilled that you are here, and I can't wait to see you in the group.